when we were talking about the two superpowers, which is China and America, playing their games in this region, whether it is Bangladesh or Myanmar, a very assertive role now being played by both of them. And with Mohammed Yunus out there still in charge, what is the impact on India that this can have? This Rakhine, this corridor that is happening, American and Chinese presence in this area. What is the impact on India?
Again, we have to look at one is the Indian economic interests that lie here, and the connectivity things which we are trying to address. So the two flagship projects that we have here, Kaladan Multimodal project, it is in this disturbed area. It is through Rakhine, and the last part is in Chin State, where it gets into Mizoram. And this part of Chin State is also under the occupation of the Arakan army. So the complete Kaladan multimodal project, if it has to come up, it has to have the concurrence of the Arakan army. Though the Arakan army has said that we will not stop the construction of Kaladan.
So if you could explain this Kaladan multimodal project.
So the Kaladan multimodal project is essentially, to cater for connectivity in the northeast, given that the current connectivity is only through the Siliguri corridor or Chicken's Neck. So it involves movement of goods first by ship from Kolkata to Sitwe. That's about 540 kilometers. Then it's offloaded at
Sitwe is in?
Sitwe is in Rakhine State.
Rakhine, okay.
Sitwe, where it gets offloaded. And from there, it will go by boats.
Sitwe is one of the ports where that Belt and Road is also going to come.
No, that is Chowkphu. That is 103 kilometers south of this.
Okay, all right.
So that is south of this.
So Sitwe is the Myanmar port, Rakhine corridor area.
Correct.
Where our stuff is going to land out here.
It gets,
so connectivity to the northeastern states.
From there, it will then get loaded onto boats and go on that Kaladan river or Kaladan river from Sitwe port. It goes to the place called Paletwa, which is to the north. You see Paletwa. There it is offloaded again. And then it moves by road up to Zorunpoi via Kaletwa. So this stretch is about 110 kilometers.
Okay.
And in this 110 kilometers, about 60% of work is already complete. Between kilometer stone 40 and 60, as we go from Paletwa side, between kilometer 40 and 60, that is the only place where work is left. Otherwise, once this comes through, the Indian part of from Zorunpui northwards still as well, it is connected already.
So if anybody has bad intentions in the Chicken's Neck area, we still have
this option of
this option, but then this option is also under threat now, you're saying.
Under threat in the sense it has not been we've not been able to succeed because of the continued disturbed situation that exists
in Myanmar.
In Myanmar,
especially in the Rakhine state.
Especially in the Rakhine state. Initially it was contracted to some Indian companies, and then there was some protest and all that it should be given to some locals. Thereafter, the Arakan army had kidnapped some of the workers. They were let off. But the last that the Arakan army has spoken about 10 months back is, you please go ahead, because it benefits the people, the Rakhine people also, which is quite unlike the projects of the Chinese which are there in Myanmar. Okay. All projects that are there in Myanmar benefit only the Chinese. There is hardly any benefit which is coming to, whereas when this comes up, Rakhine, which happens to be one of the most backward states, and Chin State, they will benefit hugely from not just this what is coming by sea, but also goods which come from northeast. There's a lot of goods which can come from the northeast to these people. So these areas are all very remote, not very well developed.
Okay. Now, in this, tell me the Indian interest in this area. You've served in some of the northeastern states. So explain to me, one is trade. The second one is how this area is also militancy affected. That Indian militants are also working out there. So tell me about that region. So why is it important for us from a national security perspective?
Yeah, then you have to look at the complete northeast. One of the things that I started off, initially I told you Cox's Bazar is the place where the weapon consignments came down. And in Bangladesh, used to have all these militant camps earlier. But Sheikh Hasina, during her time, she removed all those camps. So it became free. But now there are certain intelligence reports to suggest that they are making overtures to some of our militant groups that you can come and establish camps. Though nothing is in the media, but it is there, is being reported. You have to look at Mizoram, which at one point of time was affected by insurgency for 20 years from between 66 to 86. For 20 years, it bore the brunt of insurgency. But currently what is there is immediately to the northeast of this is Manipur, and northeast of that is Nagaland, and further north is Arunachal. These are the places where militancy is still there.
And a lot of this cross movement is happening between Myanmar and these four northeastern states.
So what happens increasingly when this area gets disturbed, there is a lot of movement of weapons. Refugees as it is are coming. Today Mizoram is the most troubled state in terms of refugees coming from Myanmar. So along with the refugees, you have weapons coming, and again, importantly, drugs. That's a big problem which we are not noticing. If I can give you some figures of the increased drug movement that is happening. Last year, Assam Rifle caught drugs worth 5,000 crores. Year before last was again 4,800 crores. So that is the kind of movement that is happening, and it is all coming from the Golden Triangle. As you would be aware, 2023 in Afghanistan, Taliban stopped the production of opium. So that complete opium cultivation has shifted here to Golden Triangle, and a lot of it is coming in. If you look at the movement in terms of the complete country, if you go by the NCB annual report, in 2023-24, they have caught heroin worth 8,000 kgs. Now compare this with 2022. 2022, as per the same report of the NCB, it was 5,000 kgs. 2021, it was 3,000 kgs. See the exponential increase that is happening.
And that is also funding all the
that
unrest
is funding
which
the
is happening.
militants also.
Political unrest, militancy is all funded by this drug trade.
Largely funded, which is again not spoken of much. So all these figures which I told of the NCB, most of it is coming, though a large part comes from Pakistan also, but there's a huge increase that is happening from the northeast. People are only concerned more about the refugees, militants, but this is a bomb which is ticking. Incidentally, if you see amongst the 8 states of the northeast, per capita consumption of illegal drugs in the country, amongst the top 10, there are 6 of them. They are all small states, yet per capita consumption is highest. Why? Because there is so much of easy access of drugs which is coming, and this problem is increasing.
Do subscribe to the ANI Clips channel to get shorter versions of this podcast. Click here to watch the full episode.